Larbi Amrani didn't consider himself a superstitious man, but when the prayer beads that hung on his rearview mirror broke, he found himself worrying that this could be an omen. His mother had given him the sandalwood beads on his college graduation, shortly before her death, advising him to use them often. At first, Larbi had carried the beads in his pocket, fingered them after every prayer, but as the years went by, he'd reached for them with decreasing regularity, until one day they ended up as decoration in his car. Now they lay scattered, amber dots on the black floor mats. He picked up as many as he could find and put them in the cup holder, hoping to get them fixed later. He eased the Mercedes down the driveway and into the quiet, tree-lined street. Traffic was unusually light, even when he passed through the crenellated fortress walls at Bab Ruah. In his office at the Moroccan Ministry of Education, he opened up the day's Al-Alam and asked the Cha'ouch to bring him a glass of mint tea. In a few minutes, he would tackle another pile of dossiers, deciding where newly graduated teachers would perform their 2 years of civil service. But for now, he took his time reading the paper and sipping his tea. The headlines announced a train worker strike and yet another hike in the prices of milk and flour, so he skipped to the sports page. Before he could read the weekend football scores, his secretary buzzed him to announce that he had a visitor. Larbi put the paper away and stood up to welcome Si Tawfiq, an old friend he hadn't seen in 15 years. Or was it 14? They had lived next door to each other in a new apartment complex in downtown Rabat, but after moving out to the suburbs, they had lost touch. Si Tawfiq entered the room cloaked in his white burnous, even on this warm September day. After salams and other pleasantries had been exchanged, Tawfiq cleared his throat. "It's about my niece. She's finishing her degree next summer." His protruding eyes, the result of a thyroid condition, made Larbi uncomfortable. "Congratulations," Larbi said. "And she wants a job in Rabat." Tawfiq smiled knowingly. Larbi tried to conceal his annoyance. The greatest need for teachers was in smaller towns and in the forgotten villages of the Atlas Mountains. "I was hoping you could help her," Tawfiq added. "I wish I could, Si Tawfiq," Larbi began. "But we have so few jobs in the city these days. The waiting list is this thick." He held his fingers wide apart, as if he were talking about the phone book. "I understand," Tawfiq said. "Of course we would try to do anything we could to help you." Larbi stroked the ends of his thin mustache, twisting them upward. He was not above taking the occasional bribe, but he recalled the morning's omen. "Please," he said, holding up his palms. "There's no need." He cleared his throat and added weakly, "I'm happy to serve all teachers. It's just that when so many people want the same thing, it becomes impossible to get all of them the assignment they want." Tawfiq looked disappointed, and he stared at Larbi for a long minute. "I understand," he said. "That's why I've come to you." Larbi sighed. He didn't want to disappoint his friend. And anyway, what sense did it make to refuse a favor to a department head in the Sûreté Nationale? "I'll see what I can do," he said. Moving Tawfiq's niece up the list would require creative handling of the paperwork. He'd have to be discreet. Afterward, Larbi swiveled in his chair and put his feet on the desk, crossing them at the ankles. He looked out the window at the row of eucalyptus trees outside and thought again about his mother, her benevolent face appearing in his mind's eye. He lit a Marlboro and inhaled slowly. Times were different now. He didn't create the system. He was just getting by like everyone else. He turned to face his pile of dossiers.